back to. All right. So I'm going to be honest and say I don't really remember very well what our last session was. I kind of watched it. Well, I didn't watch it. I listened to it at double speed today, but a lot of it's faded away. So I don't know if anyone has any rememberies they want to share with us. I remember Levi and Drake talking and almost agreeing to join forces, and then kind of at the last minute feeling like two guys had gotten too close to each other in their personal space and turning and going opposite directions.
Yeah, and I started the episode by trying to like get Gail to open up to people a little bit, and that did not work. She was very Gail, and I took it in a very Drake way. Yeah, so then I, running low on sort of like people I can rely on, contacted Levi, and at first just sort of like as a prank, but then like genuinely like sort of checking in on him. And he did not trust me at all. Oops, we lost Kristen. And then and she's back. I remember that Gail did some like she was investigating like my parents and like Drake's creation. You're muted.
Who's muted?
Eli's still muted.
Okay, I hit Control-A instead of Alt-A. I'll get this. Anyway, I had a moment where I had a vision about your parents, I know, but that was the session before last. And I think I think I let Charlotte know about
you
that,
totally dumped information to you, and Char went to the diner. Was it the Flaming Pit or something like that? And you told her all about what you knew about Drake, that he was brought into being by his parents through some sort of ritual, and that he would eat your soul if he could, I think was how you put it. Something along those lines. It was very flattering.
Yeah.
Really selling Drake hard to Char, trying to get them back together.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's so mean to Drake. I don't understand why.
Yeah, that Wheel of Karma is just not cool at all.
I've been stuck under it for a while. It's been fun.
Oh, and Char, did your dad go to the hospital? That's right.
Yeah, because he was like super weak.
Yep.
And yeah, that's all I remember about it.
Yeah, he went to the urgent care and they wound up sending him over to the hospital, and they wouldn't let him go into, or wouldn't let you go in to the ER room with him. And that's when I think
Gail showed up.
Yep, you were trying to decide who to talk to, and you phoned Gail, and she literally came walking in the door.
Right.
Opening up the locos.
Yeah. I wish I had some Four Locos.
Oh, and we didn't have any Colby action last time, unfortunately. And let's see.
No, Colby's handler forgot that we were playing, got stuck at work.
Wow, that's awful. Let's see.
I'm trying to look back through my own notes here. A couple of sessions ago, I think we were talking about how we were planning some digital evidence on somebody. Was it Olivia's parents?
Oh, yeah, you were going to have Starling do something so that Olivia had a way to get out of the house safely.
Right.
And she also had already hacked into the school's security cameras to remove the imagery of you ripping out circuits from your
Yeah,
forearm.
that
So
never
it's all
that
just,
never happened. We're gonna retcon that.
all right, let's see. Yeah, because you and Starling booted out of school then after that. Oh, so we're gonna have to, let's see. So we were at Thursday night, I think, when we left off in this last session. This Friday night is the concert at the Field House with the Honey Beeps. Oh, and is it Lizzie from the Honey Beeps had actually texted you, Drake, asking if you would join her in a memorial song to Colin at the show. And that was, I think that was shortly after you had jammed sadly in your dark garage and had a vision that the way to get the attention and adulation you deserve was to be in the spotlight again. And we had like
Oh yeah,
light coming down on
I
you.
remember that. I remember right before that, the amp blew out.
Yeah, that was
And
in that vision.
yeah.
And then you and your dad
So that,
actually kind of bonded.
yeah, we connected a little bit, and then I remember the last thing I said was like, "Dad, what's cold iron?" I remember is the last thing that I said.
Yep. He knows all about that. So we've got Thursday evening. We had pretty much left off with Levi saying he was going to head out and fix the Howler's wagon. And I think he did a group text to people. So you probably have received that as well, Colby. So why don't we start with you, Colby, if that's all right, and we'll just kind of fill in some of the backlog here. So you and Starling have been talking about how to spring Olivia from her parents or without having her put into child protective services, I think was the goal, right? Since she's under 18 and not emancipated. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does. I couldn't unmute. Yeah, we were trying to find something that I think was in the, not in the super creepy, get you taken away, but bad enough to get her some space.
Okay. So let's see. We have not established where Starling's staying. So I believe we had established that they'd set you up at kind of a cheap, like one of those hotels where you rent the suite by the week. And it's, it's just a couple baby steps up from the Goldenrod because it's actually managed. And there's some services versus abandoned. And so why don't we go, if you're okay with this, go ahead and say that Starling's just a room down from you.
Sure.
Staying there. And we come into the room and we see you sitting on one of the single twin beds there. And she's sitting at the cheapo, crappy, scratched up and carved upon and cigarette burned desk. And she's got a laptop there, but then she's got a big 26-inch monitor and keyboard and stuff. And see her, classic hacker montage. She's got everything except for the Hacker Man power glove on to do stuff. And what she does is, she turns around and looks at you and she's like, okay, so I've got a way in to like post some bulletins in the Branson PD system for people of interest.
Oh, there you go.
So, but I'm trying to think what we want to do here on that bulletin and then flag it as a new to have the police go by there without it being catastrophic, but offering some opportunities, maybe? I don't know. Probably don't want to do anything that's like firearms related because then the chance someone will get hurt badly.
Right. Yeah, we don't want to like swat her, right?
Right.
I'm trying to think of something that's going to get him picked up. I don't know. Like, what would the cops want somebody for questioning? Like, it's like leaving the scene of an accident was what jumped into my brain.
Oh, that's actually a really good one because that's something where it can just be later on waved away as a glitch in the system versus something like, human trafficking or drug trafficking, things like that are much riskier. That's
Right.
really good, Colby.
I try. But what we want is are we trying to get her like are we trying to get cops to her house? I don't even know. I don't even know how this is going to play out. I just sort of threw this out as an idea. So maybe we want cops at her. No, they're not. They wouldn't like send a social worker or something for that.
What if we just try to get the cops to show up and we show up at the same time to see Gail, and if it's not a weapons, drug, child endangerment type thing, maybe they wouldn't be able to stop her from leaving because the cops are there? Like,
I mean, her dad would be tied up with the cops, and like I don't think. Yeah, that's a good one. If we can put in the bulletin that he was alone in the car, or he was alone in the car, or the only person at the scene, then they would have no reason to keep her, and then they couldn't stop her from leaving. I don't think. But maybe we should tip her off. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe we should tip her off.
Olivia?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to take a break here where I'm not Starling going back and forth with you. So what you do, I just want to make sure. So what's been clear in the texts and stuff that you've gotten is that it's actually her mom that's been beating the holy heck out of her. Not her dad, as far as you know, although I don't know if he's minimized it, then she's lucky to be alive at all. And
you're totally right. Sorry.
no, I just didn't want, because I'm pretty sure Colby has very good recall.
Yep.
Unlike humans.
Right. Except for social protocols, they just don't fit in the data model.
So, and you know that I think, let's see. Yeah, no idea if her parents have access to her phone or not.
Right. So yeah, I think that totally makes sense. Then we just engineer everybody showing up at the same time. And it might be good to bring reinforcements from the group as well, just so it's not like random Colby and his creepy sister.
The group? You got a posse?
No, I just mean like the people that I occasionally hang out with when I'm not dragging a knife through my flesh.
And
so I don't know.
She turns around, in the chair and looks at you and can see where she wrapped you up with gauze and stuff.
I had no idea you went back in character there.
Oh, sorry. And
all right, we're gonna roll with it. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a posse, but I think it might be better than just you and me showing up at her house.
And you trust them?
I think so. We've seen each other do some ridiculous shit. and none of us have ratted anybody out or whatever else.
Yet.
Yes. Yet. That's entirely true. But I think what you were saying about not telling her first probably makes sense, right? If we just plant the evidence in the bulletins and kind of all show up there, it's going to be hard for them to keep her. So mom left the scene of an accident. Maybe she was suspected as being drunk. Maybe they want to pick her up and check that out.
I dig that, Colby.
Let's do
we
it.
can do that. And so she starts pulling together this information. You see her faking accident reports and stuff. She's grabbed some stuff from the Springfield Police Department and the county sheriff for whatever county that's in down there. And by the time she's pulled together what she thinks is a pretty good little incident that she can insert and flag in the system, it's about 9:30 at night. And she's like, well, I can drop this in anytime. Do you want to text your crew and see if they want to do this tonight, or do we want to do this tomorrow?
Well,
Can I meet them?
yeah. Nobody's gonna believe that I was smart or capable enough to manufacture this kind of evidence on somebody. They just think I can make lattes really fast. So, engineering Olivia rescue operation might help to have. Hold on. Delete. Engineering Olivia rescue operation. My sister is involved. We think it's a good plan. Might help to have some people at her house. Anyone in ? Send.
All right, so bada bing, bada boom. You all get text messages, including Gail on her T9 magic mushroom.
When does this come in sort of relative to
This
the
would
stuff that happened last session?
This is probably happens while you are on eBay with your dad looking for tubes to replace the ones that blew out on your Marshall lamp. So it'd be subsequent to Levi basically saying, yo, everyone, I'm going to go kill the howler, or whatever it was he said he was going to do. I think it was along those lines.
We're getting so many very important text messages right now.
All text messages are important. You're teenagers. Well, unless it's from your parents, then don't even acknowledge it came through in case they have read receipts.
Bit of a memory jog. Does Charlotte know? Did Charlotte learn in the last session how Gail gets her weird text messages? Didn't we have a moment?
You guys were talking, and Gail got a message. I can't remember if it was from Levi or who it was from, and she's like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" And then you literally had your phone up and read the text message out loud that she was reacting to just before you read it out loud. So you don't know quite how it's jacked in to her head.
Okay.
But you know something's going on there. And she had revealed like her face self. It looked like you had like bark-like skin and everything, I think. You said you had like this kind of shimmer and the glamour went away and you presented as the fae you truly are. So Shar is the only one who's ever seen that.
Yeah, and it was just like a ripple of that really quickly.
Yep.
So we're both still at the diner then whenever we get this text message
yeah.
from Colby too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's shortly after the Levi one came through, like another 5-10 minutes later.
I'm also trying to remember, have Gail and Colby interacted enough to really merit having each other's phone number? Because I know we were in class together and I bought tea from you, but I don't think we've had like any scenes.
Fair point. So
Yeah, I don't think so.
So I guess Shar gets the message, and it's up to Shar whether she's like, oh, gotta go, gotta help a friend, and rolls, or disregards the message to hang out with her new weird friend.
I feel like at this point, Shar would definitely choose to go on a saving mission for Olivia, and I think she feels comfortable and connected enough at this point with Gale that, I mean, she called Gale by her actual name and not like Garden or Wind or whatever, that I think that she would probably fill her in enough information to be like, would you want to come and help?
Yeah, so Gale is like, this is the guy at the tea shop, right?
Yeah, Colby.
Colby, yeah. Sure, yeah, something's weird with him too. I'll go see if I can figure out some more about that.
Listen, something's weird about everybody, I'm pretty sure.
Can say that again.
Oh, that's
Something's
right.
weird about everybody. Oh.
Yeah, Gail was pushing hard last time on trying to get you to recognize that there's something about you too. Just not clear what that is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I tell you, I moved to this town full of freaks, and thank God I'm not one of them, right? Just hang with them.
Sure,
No,
yeah, whatever you need to say.
no offense. I don't include you in that group of at all. Like,
Oh, no. I mean, believe me, I know denial is kind of a drug you don't always want to put down, you know?
what are you trying to say?
I'm saying there's something really weird about you, too.
Okay, what is it?
Well, I don't know. But,
What,
when I find out, I'll tell you.
promise?
Of course, we're friends now.
Okay, I'll hold you to it.
Good.
Oh man, you guys have been trading promises. So what's Drake's take on this message about going, ride or die to rescue Olivia?
I think I go. I'm kind of busy. Like, now you want my help? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Send.
Only back to Colby or to the group?
Only back to Colby. Look, I'm a monster, but I'm not that much.
Well, you got strings on Drake, Colby. You can spend a string and give that monster an XP and get what you want.
Yeah, I'm just failing to think of a snappy response to the text to accompany the string spending.
Well, it's a mechanic you can invoke, and we can group source the.
Sure. Yes. Yeah,
Fonts.
I'll spend the string. Let me mark it off here.
Are you okay with that, Eric?
Sounds great. Yep. I wouldn't have suggested it if I didn't want to do it.
Oh, thank God you're not getting another advancement yet. Whew.
I know.
Well, you're loaded. Okay.
I'm at three. I've got 3 advancements. So
let's see. Oh, Colby has the strings on you because Colby's been watching you and at least at some point was dumb enough to be trying to take their cues from you.
mm-hmm.
So, Colby's just seeing the manipulative way you interact with others. So the response is probably tapping, on kind of some of that social capital and be like, fine, no one will be there for you ever then when you need someone. And you're just coming back from not having anyone propping you up.
Yeah.
So if that works, I don't know how exactly that would be worded, but I think that's what pushes you.
And I'm like, fine, I'll be there. Let me know, let me know when, like where and when. And I'm like, Dad, I know y'all are worried about me, but I'm going to have to go out tonight. It's kind of a personal emergency.
Are you seeing that girl again?
No.
And
nope.
he gets up and he goes over to his bedroom and comes back and he hands you a couple condoms. It's like, if you're going out, be safe at least. And then he goes in for the hug.
And I think I kind of, strong arm him a little bit. And I'm like, no, it's literally an emergency. That girl and I, we don't go out anymore. It wasn't what you guys did. It's just not working out.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, son. I mean, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, we can do that. Don't want to.
All right. And so Colby, Starling turns and looks at you and like, so your crew is in?
Yeah, I got a few. Looks like, count them up. I think I got 3. 5 of us total. Give the cops a few minutes lead time. Show up a few minutes after they get there.
Cool. And she hits sand, commits
plant evidence
the system.
Yeah.
And who knows, she maybe leaves a back door in there. Well, obviously she would, because she might have to use it again so that she can come back. And if she needs to delete that out or whatever, she has a way to get to it.
Yeah. Send another text to everybody, give them like the ETA. Just, try to get there at this time, and we'll see if we can get her away from her parents. See y'all there.
So, and Starling tells you, yeah, I'm seeing activity on it. And then a few minutes later, she's like, I'm seeing dispatch on it. And it's out on their tough books now.
All right, to the car.
Top down, shirt off.
Yep. Stop a block away and put it back on.
I don't know. It's the Ozarks. It's not like you have to have a shirt on, although it is, I think, September. So
fair.
It was August to be kind of. Anyway, all right. So I'm presuming you guys roll up block or 2 away. Maybe park over at like a little local park nearby where you can walk over just a short distance. Gil, Shar, and Drake. Well, Drake, you walked out, so I presume you're taking the Drake mobile over?
Oh, yeah. Yep, got the Jeep.
Okay. And Gil and Shar, how are you guys getting there?
Uber. Fairy magic.
Yeah, if that's on the table.
Oh.
Yeah, let's play it out. So, yeah, I think it's like, the question of how we're going to get there. And Gail's kind of like, well, I don't think you can ride on my bike. Do you have a car?
No.
You could get your dad's car.
I guess we could. Yeah, I mean, I think I have a spare key.
Well, we should totally do it then.
Okay.
Do we have to like sneak it away from him or what?
No, he's at the hospital. Remember, you met me there.
Oh,
That's what I
right.
was doing. That's what I was doing.
Sorry, my bad.
No, no, you're new to the friend thing. I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, so yeah, let's take it and let's get over there.
I didn't mean to offend you. It's just it kind of seems like you're kind of on the outskirts all the time. It just doesn't seem like you have much experience like with friendships.
Yeah, I mean, I just I guess I spent a lot of time, on my own.
Okay, well, you don't really have to anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess not.
Okay,
Cool.
let's go.
All right.
Are you good at driving?
No, I would never own a car. Can you even imagine the carbon footprint?
Yeah, I totally get it. I have a bike that sucks. I don't think I'll ever get a car. Not because I don't want one, but just because I can't ever afford one. But
Well, I mean, start with a bike that's better and then see where you go from there.
I should probably go to my part-time job if I don't remember the last time I went.
Oh my God.
Branson's probably only open on the weekends right now
Oh,
because
okay.
school's in session. And it'll be
Okay.
closing up until it does its like holiday thing, which starts around Thanksgiving. All right.
Okay, so it's cool that
Yeah, we'll get the Scooby Gang together over by Olivia's.
I imagine the parting shot between me and Charlotte is Gail and Charlotte are walking away, and then she says, "Should probably go to my job." And I go, "Mother Nature, you have a job?" Oh my God, I had no idea. And then just laugh as the camera pans away.
So, Jeremy, it looks like you can hear us. Have you got your sound working? Oh, I kind of hear you.
I feel like it's working.
Oh.
Is this working?
Yep, now I hear you.
Okay.
All right, cool. So just to catch you up, so we brought Colby back in, picked up with at the Room by the Week hotel that he's staying at. His sister Starling is in the room next door. We went through a hacking montage where they decided to basically create a police bulletin about Olivia's mom. Okay, everyone just leave. And, that she was a person of interest for a possible hit and run, maybe alcohol related. And they dropped that into the Branson Police Department's system. And Colby had texted the Scooby Gang, and we can retroactively bring you in on that too, where basically Colby said, "Hey, want to go rescue Olivia? Will you guys help us out?" And so the thought process is that they'll get the police to be present and try to weasel Olivia out of there with cops around so that her mom can't beat the living holy hell out of her and can't stop her from going. Although it occurs to me that Drake does have his hypnotic powers also in reserve, although I don't think anyone knows that Drake has that sort of juju yet. And anyways, that message from Colby had come out literally like about 5 or 10 minutes after you'd sent your text message, which if I remember right how it wrapped up last time was basically you saying that you were going to go attempt to fix the Howler's wagon, I believe. Is that right?
I'm maybe.
I know you and Drake had talked, and you'd almost come to a detente and then kind of backed away at the very end. And
yeah, and then I thought I had contacted Gail about getting help and said
I thought it was a group text about, or maybe you did only send it to Gail saying that you could track down her uncle and take care of that problem.
Yeah, I seem to remember you sent a text to, it was definitely to me, and it was to Charlotte also, and you were saying basically like, well, guess I'm going to go take care of this myself. And that was sort of like the cliffhanger of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So had you procured cold iron yet?
No, that was a question I had for you. Like,
right. You knew, that you need cold iron, and you got
there was
that
a
in your vision.
Yeah, but I wasn't like, did I just hear a voice say cold iron, or was it?
Oh, it was like a visual. So it's like a flashback to ancient times over in, in like a Gaelic setting with literal fairy circles and fae, trying to swap children out like changelings and stuff, and people fending them off or attacking them with cold iron. So it was a visual like flash, as it were. And I think you definitely did mention cold iron to Drake, because he asked his dad, where would a person get cold iron?
Mm-hmm.
And his dad does work in set production for one of the shows in Branson.
So did that happen tonight?
Yeah, this is all happening tonight. So you've also just gotten this message from Colby also saying like he wants to go rescue Olivia. So two separate, an assassination mission and a rescue mission are both on the books for tonight. Drake, I'm going to go roll the clock back a little bit just before you tell your dad you have to leave, because
Sure.
you had asked about cold iron. He's like, well, sure. I mean, Hank, I'm sure could get you cold iron. And that's when you're like, oh, Hank, he's the guy who's the blacksmith down at Silver Dollar City.
Oh, sure.
Actual smith. And it's like, I'm positive he could hook you up, but why? And then you guys get off on the eBay rabbit hole of trying to pick the perfect tubes for the Marshall amp.
Right. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's an art project for a friend. And then we get back to the tubes. But I send that info along to Levi. Like, hey, there's a blacksmith at Silver Dollar City. Like, you might be able to get it there.
Okay, I'll text back. Yeah, okay, I'll check it out.
Of course,
okay.
It's late at night on a weeknight. Silver Dollar City's only open on the weekends.
Yep.
So
he's a man bear. I don't know.
I like look up the guy online. Am I involved in the Colby texts? I guess there's a lot going on.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Am I involved? Was I involved in the Colby text too? Did I receive
Yeah.
that?
Unless Colby, for some reason, left you out. Would you have left Levi out, Colby?
No, I would have sent it.
No. So you had gotten a message shortly after you sent your ride or die to go take care of Gail's lovely uncle. Then you got a message from Drake saying, hey, the Smith at Silver Dollar City probably has Cold Iron. And then you get this message from Colby saying, hey, trying to get the gang together to go rescue Olivia from her mom. So that's kind of stacking things up chronologically.
Right.
What's happened?
And so chronologically, and then what time are we at? And then I think I'm all caught up right now. What time is it?
At night is probably about 9:45, 10 o'clock.
So I would send on that thread that Colby sent that he was going to get Olivia. I would send back. I would join you, but I think I would bring the Howler along, or he would show up.
Probably best to stay away then. Thanks for thinking of us.
If things get too hairy, shoot me a message and I'll be there.
That would make things hairier.
Oh my God, Colby just made a joke, everyone.
Did I do that right?
He's getting a thumbs up.
So Gail is going to send Levi a text, and it's not in the group chat, but that's just because Gail doesn't know how to work her phone at all. Like, it's very weird to her. But she sends Levi a message separately, and she says, hey, if you, or hey, I might be able to help you with that. ...
Is it the ... that indicates you're typing more, or is that
No.
literally you
It's
type ...
like, It's like 6 or 7 dots, yeah.
Okay.
Great. How?
So I think she sends back, it's going to be a mess. Can we talk in person?
Yep. Where you want to meet?
So I guess where we're going? Question mark.
For Colby and Olivia?
Yeah, we could talk after.
I'll be in the neighborhood, so just shoot me a message when you're done there.
Okay, ...
And I'll just send back, great, ...
Oh,
Thanks for the help.
teen texts are so painful.
Yeah, and then in my meantime, I would like look up the name of that blacksmith guy at Silver Dollar City, try to get that information, see if I can track down where he might be at when that place is closed, and then head out into the neighborhood of where they're going, but keeping a distance so I don't bring Uncle Howler along.
Okay. Real quick, Kristen, were you able to find that gallery view?
No, I wonder if it makes a difference that I'm on just the site and I didn't download the
Oh, the app?
actual the app or the client because I'm on my work computer.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's
I don't.
probably why.
Yeah, I would have sworn there was a way to do that through the browser, but
I thought, yeah. Oh well, it's fine. I just don't
okay.
get to see all your lovely faces. Unless you're talking. So everybody talk at once. It's fine.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay. So let's cut over by Olivia's, where the Scooby Gang, as it were, has gathered. And you guys see a Crown Vic come rolling up to the house. No lights or anything. But
They still use Crown Vics and
oh
they,
yeah.
they don't have that 9/11 money to upgrade their.
Oh, they've got a
Yes.
mix. But for this, since
Mm.
but for
Well,
this,
if we never canonically established that Olivia is white, now we know.
actually, we did canonically establish that when we populated the class with predominantly white.
Yeah, right.
Which I regret now. But
Definitely accurate for Branson, though.
yeah. And so a couple cops get out, and you see them go up to the door, and you see a man come to the door, and you can see one of the officers talking, the other one standing back a little bit on the step. And you see the man turn around, and you hear him shout, "Marge!" And then he steps into the house, and the two officers go in. And what do you do? So, like, Shar knows which room is Olivia's because they've done the thing where they go in and out of each other's windows when they do their Netflix and Hangouts.
Yeah, so I think I would kind of corral the group, I guess, and tell them that's Olivia's window. I'm sure she's probably in there.
Colby, this is your monkey show. What's
I mean, yeah, I thought about going up to the front door, but now that you mention it, why don't we just can we? I almost said throw rocks at her window, but we should just text her and let her know to come out and meet us at the park, right? We can just tell her to use the scene as a diversion and come meet us at the park.
Is her phone working right now? Have you been texting her?
Crap. GM?
It's been a couple days since you got a text from her. Well, at least a day since you got a text from her, Colby. So it's basically one where she had said, why won't you answer me? And it was when you were actually at Francesca's place.
Right, with the, yeah. Why don't we try the text first, give it a couple of minutes. Probably not too optimistic about that.
And
you
go ahead.
Yeah. You text her. She hasn't answered my texts and I don't even remember the last time that we texted. So you can try, but you could also just go to the window.
I mean, we could also just go to the front door. It's not like her parents are going to bar her from coming out if the cops are there, and they're not going to want to look like weirdos in front of the cops. I mean, we can show up and, hey, is everything okay? Do you want to come for a walk with us while this all gets sorted out?
If you want to run the risk, go ahead.
That this is yes. I'm gonna say front door.
Okay.
All right. So why don't we just go up and
And that's when you guys notice that this little redhead is there next to Colby, and she goes, "We?" And then she just kind of looks at you guys. I'm his sister, Starling.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. Starling, this is everyone, Starling. She is, let me decap myself here. She is the architect of this wonderful police appearance.
Ah, shucks.
So I can go. I mean, if you don't want to I can go.
I was just asking.
No, it might be. You're right, though. It might be kind of weird if half a dozen people show up at the door. So I could just go.
All right.
Why don't we just keep an eye on the place while you go up to the front in case she comes to the window or tries to get out the back or whatever.
All right. Sounds good. What could possibly go wrong with any of this? This is great. So walk up to the front door. Maybe the cops are stepped inside the living room at that point.
Yeah, they've stepped in. It's been a couple minutes. The door closed.
Yep.
This was 5 minutes of back and forth. What do we do now? We go to the window. Okay, so are you knocking on the door or ringing the doorbell?
Yep. Yeah, knocking on the door.
All right, and the door opens and her dad's there, and let's cut over to Levi. So, Levi, I don't think you are the elite hacking skills kind of team, probably.
No, I just figured it was like a web search, like who's the guy?
Right, so
dollar. Is there an address? If so, I would go scout it out.
Basically, you get the name of the guy, Hank Jennings. That's the blacksmith at Silver Dollar City. But since there aren't phone books anymore, you can't just go to a phone book and look up a street address. So you use your mom's Visa card to do like a white pages search or whatever it is on the interwebs. And you find a home address for him, and it's not very far away. It'd be, just a couple minutes away with your mom's SUV.
Yeah, so if this is, I think then it would be like, I find that info, I'm driving in the truck, then I'm parking down the street, and then I'm kind of scouting that place out, outside, just like looking at it, trying to get a read on.
Sure.
On the place.
So it's a little ranch style house, and it has a lot of wrought iron sculptures and stuff outside, and structures and railings and stuff are all really nicely done metalwork. And you can see the blue light coming through the front curtain that looks like a TV's on in the front room, and a lamp's on low. No porch light on. Don't smell anything weird. What do you do?
I'll call the number that I got.
Okay. And after about 5 rings, he's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" Not buying any.
So is this Hank?
Yeah.
Hey, I heard you were the blacksmith, and this is a weird question, but I'm looking for some cold iron.
Wait, what?
Well, I was like, I couldn't wait until you like cold iron.
Yeah, no, I know what cold iron is. Why are you calling me about cold iron? Especially
Well,
at 10 o'clock at night?
was it 10 o'clock already? I'm sorry, I didn't realize what time it was. I thought it was a little bit earlier. It's been a busy week for me. I apologize for calling you so late. If this isn't a good time, maybe I could call back tomorrow or something. I'm interested in it, and you know. Otherwise, I mean, I could.
What, like, so, okay, so you need some
I
cold
would
iron?
buy it.
Well, right. I'm
Yeah.
not just giving away iron for free. It costs me money. It's the material.
Right.
For
I
my
wanted to
work.
make sure that you knew that this would be a business transaction and not just some guy just calling to, you know, give you the runaround.
How, you're really inspiring a lot of confidence here. Okay, so yeah, I can get you some cold iron. Like, what do you want? Just like a length of iron? Like a rod?
I like thinking like sorry, I was just thinking like a flat blade of it that I could use to.
Oh, so now you want me to work it for you too?
No, I mean if it's just I don't know. I don't know how I can buy it. Is there a shopping list?
Oh my God, you don't know anything about anything, do you? Are you on drugs? Are you okay?
I'm not on drugs at the moment.
Wow. I definitely don't want to meet you until it's
But
daylight.
you don't smoke. You're a blacksmith. You don't smoke pot now and then. You gotta be a hippie.
And now I feel like this is some sort of weird catfishing type thing or something. Look, I tell you what, I'll meet you tomorrow, 8 a.m. at my shop. I've got a shop here in Branson that I work weekdays.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I will meet you there. I mean, and if you want to do some drugs.
Are you a cop? If you're a cop, you got to tell me.
What? No, what are you talking about? You are just fucking with me. You led me into that cold iron, how do you want it, that doesn't exist. I'll see you in the morning.
Wait a minute. Hey, freak, what's your name?
It's Levi.
Levi. Okay, Levi, I'll see you tomorrow. And God, please don't bring any cops or any of your drugs, okay?
So no drugs. Got it. Just some money.
Just the money, $50.
See you then. Okay. Sorry I called so late. Click.
Oh my God. Holy crap. All right. So let's see. We never gave Olivia a last name, did we?
I was going to go with, hey, Mr. Surname, is Olivia home?
Well, since Olivia was Char's bestie at the start, we're going to give the responsibility of naming, giving the family name to Kristen.
Olivia.
Don't say de Havilland.
Oh, dang.
Newton John.
Olivia Grassman.
Okay, Grassman. Got it. All right, so Colby. Mr. Grassman comes to the door and it opens about, a foot's width, and he looks out and his face is flushed. He looks kind of angry or upset. And he sees standing there. He's like, oh, what the hell?
Oh, hey, Mr. Grassman. I'm Colby. I'm a friend of Olivia's from school. Sorry to bother you. Olivia just texted me, and she said that that something was going on here, and she didn't know what was going on. So I thought I would come and see if she wanted to just come out for a walk while things blow over here. Can you just ask her to come down?
Now's not really a good time. And he's like, I don't even know who you are.
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm Colby. I can obviously see that this is not a good time. I think that's why she texted me. I think she just thought that if stuff is going on here, it looks like it's pretty serious. So maybe I think she just wanted to get out of the house for a few minutes. So she asked if I would just come over and like walk down to the park with her.
Oh, I don't think Marge would like that. And you see a kind of turn a little bit back towards the room behind him, and then turns back to, I'm positive she went like we're kind of, we're in the middle of a thing right now, Colby, and it's nice that you're trying to look out for Olivia. Really appreciate she's got some friends that are looking out for her, but I'm just gonna have to ask you to come back later. And he starts pushing the door closed on you. Like tomorrow?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to use the previous Colby is very difficult to push.
Mm-hmm.
And just jam a foot in the door. Mr. Grassman, I understand that Mrs. Grassman might not like Olivia walking out in the middle of this, but if it goes the way it's looking right now, I don't know if she's going to want Olivia to see that either. Maybe we should go for a walk to the park.
And he opens the door and steps out and closes the door behind him. And he's like just a couple inches from you. And he's like, look, kid, I appreciate what you're trying to do here, but I don't know how you're going to get her out of there right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I tell you.
Go ahead.
So you're this guy that she's been dating?
Something like that.
All right. I tell you what. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out his ring of keys and he flips through them and he takes a key off the ring and he hands it to you. He's like, that goes to the back door. You'll come in to the kitchen entrance and back, take a right down the hallway, last door on the left. Just stay on the down low and be quiet. Because you obviously saw our visitors come in.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So, well, I'm glad you had the foresight to buy a house with more than one door. Take the key, walk off the porch. And then wherever everybody else is holed up, I think just go back. Hey, We're not getting her out the front door. I managed to talk her dad. Her dad knows shit's a little fucked up here, so he gave me the key to the back door and directions to her room. So we should do this, but I think it's got to be either me or Shar. Shar, what do you think?
Why don't we do it together?
That's fair. That's double the chance of getting caught, but fuck it. We can do it.
That way, if one of us gets caught, the other can still go on with the mission.
Seems fair.
The mission.
The mission.
Oh boy. You two. It's adorable. I will sit out here in the Jeep with the engine running, and when either you get Olivia and you come out, I will be here, or when you run out, I will be here.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, as always, for being ready with a plan, Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Gail is in the back seat, and she's looking kind of uncomfortable in the inside a vehicle. And she's like, hey, I just realized there are only 4 seats here, and like, if you need to make a quick getaway, then where's Olivia gonna sit? Shar, do you like need me right now? Because I'm a little worried about Levi.
No, go. Yeah, go to Levi. You're right. We don't have enough seats anyway.
Okay,
But-
cool.
I mean, but you're always welcome to come back.
Oh, well, thanks.
That's definitely a promise. Even if those words weren't at the end, you are always welcome, Gail.
Yeah, I'll write that down. Yeah, so Gail is like, well, thanks. Yeah, so I'll see you later then.
Okay.
And Starling's like, it's really nice to meet you, Gail, right?
Yeah, and like normally when Gail would like want to reach out and like, hug somebody or like shake their hand or something, she definitely just gives like a finger gun and she's like, yeah, you too, Starling. And then she's gonna get out of the vehicle, and as she's walking away, she's like, that girl looks nothing like a Starling.
Oh my golly. Very good. All right. Let's see. I need just a quick 2 or 3 minute break to hit the restroom and to grab another beverage. And then we'll pick up with Levi got stymied. But we'll figure out what we're going to pick up in a second. Feel free to discuss amongst yourselves.
Maybe Starling and Drake can have a little
Oh, I like that.
scene while those idiots go inside.
Keep your hands off my sister, you sketchy punk. Actually, I don't know her, so do whatever. Eli, what I really wanted Gail to be uncomfortable with in that last scene was that Drake was leaving the car running.
Oh,
Is that really necessary? Like, dude, can't you
These
just start it
emissions
really
are
quick
a
when you
lot.
come out?
have you ever thought about the impact you make on Mother Nature, Drake?
And for what? Like 2 or 3 seconds of a getaway? What's gonna happen in 2 or 3 seconds that you need to leave the car running?
What's worth
Nothing.
more, Olivia's life or the planet Earth?
I think I would have just left.
Told me to get out and drove away.
Yep.
Okay. So we were just chatting, and Eric had suggested a little scene maybe with Drake and Starling, while our intrepid duo of Colby and Shar infiltrate the house, and Gail is on her way, in theory, to meet up with Levi. So we see Colby and Gail unlock the back door, or Colby and Shar unlock the back door and go in, closing the door very quietly behind them. And Gail has just headed off or whatever she's going to do. So it's you and Starling. And she looks in and goes, so you're one of Colby's friends?
Yeah, I mean, we're one of the people that we seem to end up in the same spots together, but sometimes we're tight, sometimes we're not. So, sister.
Oh yeah.
So you're
Older.
like him.
And she just kind of stops and gives you a side eye, and she's like, what does that mean?
Like, look, like a hot person. No.
Did those words exit Drake's mouth or not?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
All right. Roll to turn someone on.
I'm being charmingly stupid. All right. Let's see.
Oh, it's our first roll.
My
tonight.
hot is I'm ready to wreck now. Oh, now with that roll, I'm not. Holy Jesus.
Good thing you didn't grab those condoms.
Well, there's another XP for me. Ugh, Drake.
And Starling just looks at you and she's like, really? Really? That's your line? We're here to rescue Colby's friend from an abusive relationship with her parents, and you're hitting on me? Wow. I thought Colby was exaggerating, but obviously not. Wow, you are a piece of work. And let's give you
Give me a condition.
let's give you a condition. Oops. Let's see, what do you have right now?
All I have is all talk, which makes
All
total
talk.
sense.
You just
You can tell Levi hasn't been enough scenes with people because he doesn't have any conditions.
You're such a bro, she says, and you have the condition, bro.
All right.
Just like one of the worst conditions I can imagine giving to anyone.
It's pretty bad. All right.
So,
And all right, well, let me say what I was gonna say then. So you're like a robot, like Colby.
and she moves so fast you can barely see it.
Hmm.
And she's got her hand around your throat and her body up against you and has pressed you back up against the side of your Jeep.
Hmm.
And you can feel her start lifting you up a little bit. And she's like, what are you talking about? You're obviously mistaken. Read me.
God, it must do CrossFit. I get it.
And she lowers you down. And then she kind of reaches up and smooths your shirt out.
Hmm.
And she goes, so, like, don't be threatening me
No,
or my brother. Because obviously Colby's not looking out for himself. And I'll look out for him and make sure he's okay. You seem like you might be taking advantage of him or something. What's going on with you and these people in Colby? I'm really worried about Colby. He's messed up.
Yeah, he's a mess, but you know, you'd be a mess if you got dropped off in Branson with no memories. You know, we were here, we scooped him up. I don't know where you were.
Roll cold, please. Shut someone down.
Yes. +1. Let's see if we can.
Wow, you're hot and cold?
No, I only have a +1.
Ah.
That's a 9. So, all right. I come off poorly. So do they give me another condition?
No, you're just now brotastic.
I will. I'll take a string on Starling.
Yep, I think that would be handy.
Need more space for strings.
Oh, God, it's a hard life, isn't it?
It's rough. Well, I mean, I lost a bunch of them, so.
That's true. You have a couple slots there, 0. Oh, in fact, you could replace that Colin one with Starling because Colin's kind of
Oh, yeah.
dead.
Sweet memories. I did actually start writing a song.
Oh, seriously? I wasn't sure if you were joking about that or not. Well, hopefully we can.
No, I mean, it's really just a poem. It's not actually, because I don't write music. But
Well, okay. So here's what I'm going to ask: that when we have our next session, hopefully in 2 weeks, you'll have Jim arrange a song, and he can play the acoustic guitar while you sing for us. Everyone down with that?
I'll have Eli sing. Because you don't want me to sing.
It's a group effort.
Okay, so you say that back to her, and she's like, fair. Okay, that's a fair point. I just want to be really clear that someone is here now from Colby's family who cares about him. We didn't know where he was. I don't know what he said, but not unlike Olivia's mom and dad, our parents are completely screwed up and a mess. And I don't know what they did to Colby that's got him so messed up. But he's the youngest of us, so. And I'm watching out for him now.
Well, I'm glad someone's there, because he is not finding his way. And he's going to have to make a choice. Is it Olivia? Is it Charlotte? Is it Colby? What's what's he gonna stick with?
And she just looks at you and goes, that sounds complicated. All right, let's cut to inside the kitchen. And we see Shar and Colby in there. Shar, you know your way around that house actually really well.
Mhm.
You've been over there.
And
a
I'm
lot.
kind of like, I feel like I'm silently directing Colby, like that, like pointing to a floorboard and like going like this, or like pointing to the side of the wall, like, you know, so he knows kind of like how to sneak without making noises that the house would normally make.
It would be kind of a cute scene to have you like knock something off a counter while that happened, and then he uses his like robo speed to catch it before it hits the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. The cookie jar gets clipped by your elbow when you're gesturing at something, and it goes falling through the air. And Colby, we see him grab the lid and it separately, and then very exaggeratedly put it back delicately on the counter. And you guys can hear some raised voices from, it sounds like what you know as the living room, Shar. So you can hear that going on. And the kitchen's dark, as is the hallway. You see, when you come to the corner to look down the hallway, you can see some light underneath Olivia's door.
So then I think at this point, I gesture for Colby to go down the hall and like, so like, go down the hall. I'll stay.
All right, so I'm gonna sneak down there and open the door, not knock or anything, just open the door as
Yep.
quietly
And
as
you
I
actually
can.
see that it's bolted from the outside. It's got
Oh,
like a deadbolt, and the keys in the deadbolt on your
Mhm.
side.
Okay. I'm gonna just a second. I'm gonna open the deadbolt and pocket the key and open the door as quietly as possible. And if I can, open the door a crack and she's in there and I can make eye contact with her, just give her the like, just no noise. We're gonna get out of here.
Yep. You see her. She's just watching TV on the little TV that's in the bedroom, the little flat screen there. And she jumps and she makes like a little squeaking sound. And then when she sees you,
We're just gonna go out the back door. Shar's in the kitchen. Don't talk. Let's just go.
and she grabs her school backpack, and you see her go over to her dresser and quietly open the drawer, and just she grabs some clothes and just jams them in there. It looks like, without even looking, just jams some stuff in there.
From the the door while she's getting ready, I want to look back out and like make eye contact with Shar and just give her the like, are we thumbs up, is it safe to go?
And everything looks good, Shar.
All right, hurry up, let's go.
And she's kind of limping along. She's carrying her tennis shoes in one hand and has the backpack over the other shoulder. And you guys make it through the kitchen and out the black door. Is there an act under fire? That would be a game called Apocalypse World. So
I believe there's
and
a
I'm going to have
keep
to
you
ask
cool.
you to defy danger, which is a Dungeon World move.
Yes. As ever, I will be doing that with charisma.
And I think just as you're going out the back door with her tennis shoes, Olivia catches a glass that's on the counter and knocks it to the floor. And you hear voices raised in the living room, and then the door clicks shut behind you. And Drake, you and Starling see them come running around the corner. What does that look like, you guys running with Olivia? She's barefoot. Guys got her by her hands, or?
I think I grab her book bag and shoes and like anything that she has in her hand and take that from her because I realize that she is not running as quickly as we are. And I kind of like make eye contact with Colby.
Yeah, and as much as she needs to get going fast enough, even if it's just picking her up, I can do that.
Yep. And Drake, here they come. And Starling turns to you and she holds out her fist for a fist bump. She's like, they did it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm like, sort of like, I do the fist bump, and then I see them like hauling ass, carrying, and it's like,
yep.
Lean over, open the door, so that like some people can pile in.
All right, and folks get into various vehicles.
Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to do with my evening, was accessory to kidnapping.
This is kind of I don't think we were found, but like this sort of tickles the trigger for Runaway, and the consequences for Runaway could get interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's just as you guys get to where the two vehicles are, because Char, you had lifted your dad's vehicle, and Drake has the Drake mobile.
Right.
And actually, Colby, you still have Francesca's Jeep. You guys, I probably drove that over too. So you've got three vehicles out there. And that's when you're like trying to figure out who's getting into what. And the porch light goes on. And you hear this woman's voice shouting, Olivia, where the hell are you? And then you hear her shout, I think someone's kidnapped my daughter.
Fuck.
And you see a cop come running out the door. Now, roll for Runaway.
Now, roll for Runaway. There we go. So Runaway is volatile, which probably sucks for me.
No, I think you swapped.
Oh, did I swapped it? I don't remember where I landed on swap.
No, or did you swap cold?
No, he's got
+1. Not disastrous. All right, big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Stop it. Stop it.
Oh, God.
Stop it. Snake eyes and a spin.
Okay, we'll come back to that. So, Gail, you had the feeling between all the carbon emissions going on around you and that Levi's out there attempting to deal with your uncle on his own, that he needed some help. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, so I think as Gail is walking away from the car, she's sort of, like tweeting, thinking about it. I think like a bird comes and sits on her shoulder, and she's like, "Hey, where are you?" And then the bird flits away.
And so is that then translate into a text on his phone, or does the bird come flying up?
You know what? Yeah, I think she can control whether it shows up in somebody's phone or if it's the actual bird. And I think it's like the equivalent of fairy minutes on a phone. It's more minutes to be able to send the actual like text because that's more intensive. But if you just send a bird, it's fewer minutes.
So you're trying to not exhaust your prepaid plan?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So this bird flits over to Levi and says these words with Gail's voice.
So that bird will fly up. Levi's at there's I think a nearby park mentioned over by Olivia's.
Yeah, there is a park just a couple blocks away.
So I think Levi's parked there, and in one of like the public barbecues, he's just started like a little fire, and he's just hanging out by firelight when this bird. What kind of bird is it? It was like
it's like a little bluebird.
Great. Flits over and says in a little bird voice or in Gail's voice?
In Gail's voice.
Great.
Where are you?
Where are you? Oh. I guess I just tell you, bird. I'm at the park.
So the bird flies back to me and says all of those words. And Gail goes over to meet up with Levi at the park.
I think, though, we see the bird all of a sudden flip back in and land on your shoulder again, Levi, and it's on my way.
Yeah.
I just shrug it away.
Disappears with a couple feathers.
Yeah. So Gail is actually going to sort of approach in secret. I picture like Levi is alone. It's dark. He's got the light of the fire. So the dark around him is especially dark. And then Gail wants to start talking before she actually like steps into the light of the fire. So while it's still dark, Levi hears, "So I heard about your uncle."
And Levi has been very on edge, obviously, with all this stuff going on. So what's going on in his head is he's always just putting his focus on everything around and just being like in the moment and present. So he doesn't move or anything. Just this pause, maybe like you see like a shadow, almost his shadow like sigh. And he just says, "Yeah."
So that really sucks. Are you okay?
Nope. No, I'm not. I don't know what my family did to your uncle, but he's taken something out on me.
Yeah, my uncle is a jerk.
That's an understatement, for sure.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, so you wanted to like do something about that, right?
Yeah, I'm going to kill him or die trying.
See, like, I hate him, and I think it would be great if he was dead.
Okay, yeah. And then Levi turns around to look at you to get a read on you, like visually, just to take in everything they're saying, like body language and vocally.
So as this has been going on, Gail's voice has been getting closer, and so when you turn around, she's like basically standing beside you, but like just out of your field of vision. So when you turn around, you see her there. And she's like, so I think I know how to take you to where he wouldn't be expecting you. So like, you'll just owe me, I guess, if I do that.
I don't know if I will owe you, because what I'm doing is doing something you want as well. He leans back and crosses his arms.
Gail looks definitely put out by that. Like a sort of "he got me" vibe. And she's like, well, I guess fair's fair. So
maybe I'll say, I think you'll owe me. And I'll offer you a string to take me to that location that your uncle won't be expecting me.
So my understanding of strings is that like if I get a string on you, then I can use it and like I have the advantage, right? So I think it would be that you would be asking for a string from me, right?
I have a string on you, so if I
Pulling
get rid
the
of that,
string.
then you'd get experience if you do this. You would mark XP.
Yep. So
yeah,
that's
okay,
the
let's do
carrot.
that.
Yep.
This
So
is
you
fortuitous.
Level up.
Nice.
Oh, somebody spent a string, y'all! Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Gail is like, I mean, you know, when you put it like that, you know what? Fine. Yeah, I'll owe you a favor, even after I do this favor for you. I guess that's fair.
Right, a favor for a favor kind of cancels it out. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. No, you're right. So here's the thing, like we can do this, but it's not going to be easy. We need to prepare for this, okay?
yeah, what do you got in mind? Like, I definitely want to know what I'm getting into.
Well, I mean, I know where he lives. I'll just take you there.
I know where he lives.
I don't think you know where he lives.
And Levi will bring his hand up and then just kind of go, hey, I can show you. And I'll do like what if I just have to like touch your shoulder, and he'll slowly bring his hand towards you, and if you pull away or anything, he'll stop. And it'll be similar to what I did with my uncle before, to kind of share my vision of what I had of where he is.
I'm going to ask for a gaze into the abyss on this. So with your uncle, you guys had a family bond that was
Yeah.
there in place. So that was much easier. This is not a given by any leap of the imagination.
Cool. So gaze is
with
dark.
Yep.
Awesome. -1.
You're
Unless the
bathed in
moon is-
moonlight, though.
Okay. 6.
So we see Levi's big, massive paw come down on Gail's little shoulder. And it's amazing how heavy that hand feels. And it just reinforces how huge Levi is in comparison to everyone else. And you just get this kind of like primal rush just goes through you, and it's just like tearing and rending and rage, and it's just a primal bestial thing. And then Levi's right, that goes like your eyes, like it's, I don't know if you've ever been so angry you actually see red or can't see. It's a really amazing experience. But it, like that happens to you and you lose your vision, you get that whole rage thing. You feel
that happens to Levi or to Levi?
To Gail.
To Gail. Great.
Yep. When you're trying to share this with her, and she just gets all the worst of the bear. And then you snap out of that, Gail, and it's actually been kind of a gross experience, to be generous about it. And you can just see all that rage and anger that's not very far under the surface, it seems, with Levi.
Yeah. So I think I'm afraid of my proximity to this, both physically and in terms of like my culpability in his uncle's death. So I think I need to roll to keep my cool.
Okay.
Okay, so I've
So
named
what first name what you're afraid of.
Definitely my proximity to Levi's anger. And I got a 9. Okay. So you tell me how your actions would leave me vulnerable.
Well, if you stick with Levi here and aid him, there's the very real chance that the beast that lurks underneath, that if it is let loose, it could be indiscriminate in what it does, putting yourself in very real and present physical danger.
Yeah. And I think, Gail definitely steps back away from this, and then she realizes that she made a promise with Levi to help him do this. And so she kind of swallows her fear, and she's like, Levi.
He's breathing heavy, like what got overwhelmed.
Levi, I'm gonna help you with this, okay? I'm gonna help you. I said I would help you, and I'm gonna help you, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying. I'm trying really hard.
That's great. I'm glad. Okay, I'm really glad about that. Okay, but you're kind of scaring me.
Just Levi just slows down his breathing, and I think I'm going to roll a keep it cool. I think like this at this point, all this stuff kind of, everything with his uncle dying and everything just kind of hits him all at once, and then he's kind of gets scared of himself too when those words trigger.
Okay, so name what you're afraid of. Is it that you might harm
Gail? I'm afraid,
now?
that I'm gonna just harm Gail, freak out, and harm her.
Okay.
Oh shit. So what is it? 4 and keep your cool as cold. Yeah, so that's a 3.
Oh no.
And that's an advancement. So there's that.
Yay. All right,
Yay.
we'll circle back to get the repercussions of that. So back at the cars, you guys have just come rushing up with Olivia. We've heard what must be the mom shout, "I think they're kidnapping my daughter." And we've seen a police person come stepping out into the porch light. What do y'all do? And Olivia's standing there, and her eyes are like super wide, like almost looks like she might be in shock, and she's definitely scared as all get out.
Oh, I know what I want to do, and I think I'm gonna have to keep the story feral.
Yes, Leroy?
So I get out of the Jeep, and I like walk, and I'm like looking him straight in the eyes, and I'm like, no, everything's out here is fine. There's nothing going on out here, and I'm gonna try to hypnotize him.
Who are you trying to hypnotize? The cop?
The cop.
All right. Awesome. I would love to see that work. Think it's going to work?
I mean, it hasn't worked yet.
That means you're due, right?
I roll plus hot, so I mean that's.
Wow, and you're at +3 with that.
Yeah. But I rolled a 2 the last time. Okay. All right, that's a 10.
All right, so tell us what happens on a 10.
All right. On a 10 up, you can hypnotize people who have no strings on you. Roll with hot. On a 10 up, they do exactly what you wish and have no idea that anything is wrong.
Okay. So you look into that cop's eyes and you see her mouth go just a little bit slack and her eyes unfocus and her face just kind of loses any rigidity or muscle structure for a moment. What do you tell her to do?
I just say, just go back inside and say that that you didn't see anything out there, and keep everyone indoors.
Sounds like mom's trying to distract you.
Is the mom out there as well?
She had been on the porch and then the cop came out. But it was the cop that was closest to you because they began.
So I don't want to be like, why don't you get everybody back inside? There's nothing going on out here.
Perfect. And the cop just kind of spins neatly, does a 180, walks back, and you see her go up onto the porch, and you just see her like basically almost like push Mrs. Grassman into the house, and the door closes and the porch light goes off.
And I'm like, everybody in the car. And we sort of like get kind of amped up since it's finally worked, and like pound the roof as I like drive off.
I knew I had it in me.
Yep.
So
if you take your shirt off, it feels even better.
Where do y'all go? And who's got Olivia?
We should probably like keep her in the middle of the back seat between me and Char. I don't know, possibly in the Drake mobile because it seems appropriate.
Okay.
But wait, shit. And maybe I guess because we have Francesca's car, Starling could drive that. If that's okay.
Can do, brother.
Cool.
And I'll just leave my car, my dad's car, in Olivia's neighborhood, because I don't care about cars apparently. What happens to them?
Do you leave it running though? That's the question.
No. My car was never running, just Drake's.
All right. And
I do want to mention that as we're driving away,
Mhm.
I think I catch a glimpse of Drake in his rearview mirror and kind of give him like a smirk.
Like good job, Smirk.
Yeah.
All right.
Like a "oh, you naughty boy" smirk.
Yeah.
Roll it.
Roll hot, sure. It's on again.
Alright.
It's off again.
All right. Oh, that is 8.
Oh, that's mixed result. So, Drake, you can either give Shar a string, so she'd be back up to like 3 or 4, or you
Right.
yourself to her, promise something you want, or you can get embarrassed and act awkward.
I think.
I have 4 strings on you already.
What's that?
I have 4 strings on you already.
Yeah, I know. So I think I'm gonna get a little like I make eye contact with you in the rearview mirror, and then I like look away because I remember that I'm like supposed to be mad at you, right? So like it goes from like exciting tension to like awkward really quickly.
Okay.
I'm like, great, kidnapping. Where do we want to go?
And Olivia's like, away? Far away?
Colby, your sister got a place?
We're kind of holed up in like an extended stay hotel right now. Not exactly the classiest, but definitely does not have abusive parents.
That sounds like an upgrade.
Yeah. We could go there. I mean, we can at least go there until we can figure out a more permanent plan. I will admit to not having thought this all the way through.
How like a teenager.
Yeah.
It's going to be so great. We'll rescue you. All right. So are you going to go to the extended stay?
Yeah. I mean,
All right,
As good a place as any.
We'll just hand wave y'all over there, getting settled in the 2 rooms, however you want. And let's circle back to Levi and Gail. And Levi, you had just completely botched keeping your cool, and you were afraid
Yes.
of hurting Gail. And so I think
Yep.
what happens is you feel that anger bubbling up again because you like basically had to drag that help out of her.
Yeah.
And you can either lash out physically at Gail or you can book on out of
Run
there.
away.
Yep. And I'm not
Yeah.
going to make you roll to run away. I'm just so you can either leave the situation or lash out physically.
I think the way Levi was keeping his cool, he's gonna run away, as he says, like, just like you can see the reflection of the light in his eyes, that photo reactive bear eye type thing light up, and he's like starts to breathe really heavy. It's just,
Yeah, maybe we
run.
see a little bit of the fur coming out and the incisors getting bigger and the face extending.
Yeah, he says, I'm sorry, and he just runs past you without saying anything.
Yeah, Gail dives away.
Tweet me.
Yeah, Gail dives out of the way as fast as she possibly can.
Do you want me to roll volatile, Kevin?
No.
Okay, cool.
No, it was just your choice of whether you were going to give in to your fear of
Yeah.
hurting her or take yourself out of that situation. But that definitely, I doubt Gail will forget that look that you gave her before kind of buckling down for a moment enough to turn yourself away.
Mhm.
So I think we'll flip forward to Friday. If everyone's okie dokie with that, we'll assume everything, people get back to wherever they're going. I think we get a montage of Olivia, crying and being comforted by Shar and by Colby. And I don't know if Drake's a comforter or if we see you standing there. I don't know. Would Drake be resentful of not being the center of attention, or could you deal with it?
No, I mean, I think that like sort of the group is slightly back together,
Mm-hmm.
but I think you can see like I sort of picture the suite has the little like kitchenette,
Yes.
right? And there's just like me and Starling like hanging out in the kitchenette while the other two are comforting Olivia, and just like I mean, and it's just sort of like one of those fast forward silent montages
Mm-hmm.
where you see moving around from room to room and doing things, and but I think eventually Drake would go home.
Yep. Yeah, it probably wouldn't be that classy to try to put a move on anyone when you've got a friend who's been rescued from an abusive relationship. And Olivia does look like a mess, although she doesn't look like anything has really happened to her recently, but she's got, that purple and yellow and green bruising down through the cheek, and her nose is a little off center, didn't get reset straight by probably her parents. And it's just really, really sad. So let's see. Irons in the fire that we have. Levi needs to get the cold iron. He was going to do that the next day. Definitely not bring drugs or the police to meet Hank at his shop. Unless Levi decides to go try to break into the shop and figure out which of many things might be the cold iron in there.
Nope, he is just going to stay alone because every time
Okay.
he gets near somebody, it's starting to get bad. He's just
Right.
gonna
Actually,
by himself.
let's do this to kind of wrap up the session tonight. Let's just kind of have everyone epilogue what's going on that evening leading into the morning, whatever. Or so you could either epilogue what's happening that night, and either as you're returning home or reuniting with friends that you've saved. Gail going back to her place. Levi needs to figure out, he's lives at a house where 2 murders have happened. So I don't know if anyone wants to volunteer to go first.
I think that Shar would be focusing on like taking care of Olivia and like her and Colby kind of like taking point. But then I think that you get a glimpse every so often of Shar pulling her phone out and pulling up her like text thread to Drake and like staring at it, like missing the fact that she used to always get at least something. And so she's kind of looking to see if she gets anything from him.
Mm-hmm. You get that phantom vibration feel, and nope, no message. I dig that.
Yeah.
So here's the flip side of that. When Colby is on point taking care of Olivia, Shar takes the opportunity to take a break and does that. When it's flipped around, Colby zones out and he experiences this totally uncharacteristic sense of lack of awareness. Normally, he's just like taking in and parsing everything. And there are these blips from the evening. There are just these black spots that are blacked out by the fact that he can't process what's going on to Olivia 100 going on with Olivia 100% because it rubs too close to what's gone on with him, and it like hits this blacked out area of memory that he's not allowed to access. So when he goes to encode it, it's just gone. So when Shar is on point, Colby is just like dead until next time, and then they switch and they just go back and forth in that weird ping pong game.
So does that failure in encoding if when the camera comes in on you, or we see kind of a blank, non-reactive look on your face, or is it like puzzled? Like I can't figure out why I'm not connecting at the moment, or?
I'm sorry, Kev. The first part of that was really garbled. Can you try that again?
So what does that look like when we see Colby on camera where, you can't do that encoding? Is it just like your eyes going blank and far away and you're just kind of like standing there like furniture again? Or is it evoke some frustration or something, or confusion?
I think normally his eyes look normal, but the opposite of this is like it's a distant look, like he's not looking at anything, and you just kind of see the eyes just like, and like they're just not focusing on anything. They're just kind of like
type movements.
Yes, exactly like REM, like with his eyes open, and just like nothing's
super
taking.
cool.
So if you go back and review the video tape later, there's just like a few minutes of gap at a time.
Dig it.
For Levi, I think we see, like, if there was a camera, you would see like a spooky creature looking at his house kind of camera setup, and then you see Levi step into frame and turn into a bear, his bear shape, and he just is pacing the perimeter of the yard, rubbing up against the trees and marking them, and he paces, marks, then moves and just goes to sit down by the porch. And there's that one Keep Your Cool book that he was given that is like on the porch down next to him, but he doesn't see. The bear just sits down on his haunches and looks into the backyard and is just breathing heavily.
I dig it. So we have Gale and Drake.
I think the camera kind of, zips through the forest for a little bit, and then it shows Gale sort of like getting back to her trailer in a clearing, and she's clearly been running hard. She's panting. She kind of like runs over to the place where the chairs and the chimney are set up, and she just like falls over on the ground, and we end with her looking up at the stars at night and with this really worried look on her face, and she's got tears in her eyes, and that's it for Gale.
And then Drake comes home, and his dad's like still at the computer, but kind of like nodding off, you know what I mean? And I'm like, Dad, this can wait, this can wait till tomorrow. Everything's good now. And then I go upstairs, and you see Drake get out a notebook and he writes for Colin at the top, and you see him start writing, and that's where we stop.
Dig it. So we'll pick up Friday, maybe with a homeroom scene, and then I want to get to the evening. And I think we'll just get like a couple little, next week on Branson Hearts. And I think one thing we see in the preview is Miss Orsman being at the door of the extended stay hotel with Colby standing there with the door open. She's going, I'm just here to check in and make sure Olivia's okay. And then I think the other little clip we see is Drake and what is it? God damn it. I'm blanking on names here.
Brittany?
Brittany. Yep, Brittany. Together at the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Singing with maybe a little bit of sizzling chemistry there.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think we get another little preview where it's really confusing. It's not clear what the hell's going on because there's all these leaves and shit swirling around. But we see Gail and Levi moving through this strange foresty tunnel. And that's what we'll pick up on next time on Branson Hearts.
Kevin, can I add a little thing to right before the foresty tunnel? Maybe
Yes.
just a little clip of Hank like going,
Oh yeah,
like slapping down the exchange and going like, "What are you going to do with that kid?" And it's just like a rod of metal.
yeah,
I'm just
it
like,
is. It's like
I don't know.
24 inches long, half-inch thick.
Yeah, and I just heft it and go, I don't know, and then maybe move on to that one while walking through the tunnel.
I dig it. All right, cool. So I think I was a bit off tonight, but I will be back in the groove hopefully next time. I didn't do a good job at managing the table there. So, but
Well, we haven't had all 5